Kelly Rizzo herself. Welcome back to California Live.
Thank you for having me back.
Okay,
so fun.
Season 2 is out now.
Yes.
Super fun. For anyone who hasn't heard the first season, what is your podcast about?
So the first season came out right around a year or so after Bob had passed away. So it was really heavily grief focused. All of my interviews, whether they were with therapists or grief experts or celebrities, they were all focused around grief. The best way to get through it, how to handle it, how to help others going through it. But then, I've evolved a lot since then. It's been 4 years now since Bob passed. And so there's a lot of other things that I want to get into that are still in the comfort realm, but not necessarily just grief focused. So now I'm talking about so many different topics, whether it's romance scams or adult friendships or red flags in relationships. I just had the one that came out this week with Ariel Laurie, was about being child-free by choice. And, there's a lot of topics that I just really want to speak to. And so this is giving me that opportunity.
And it all kind of encompasses being comforted, right?
Yes, yes.
What have you learned about loss or maybe the grieving process since you started that?
So much. I mean, I've had so many different perspectives. Like even the first season, I had so many of Bob's best friends on who were talking about, how they experienced it and tips and tricks and ways to get through it. One of the best tips that I learned, which was actually when I had Rabbi Steve Leader on my podcast.
We love Rabbi Leader. He's so wise.
He's such a gift.
Yes.
He's truly a gift. He was actually presided over Bob's funeral.
Oh, okay.
But he always just said to show up as your authentic self. Like if you're a hugger, hug. If you're a baker, bake. If you're a jokester, joke. Don't show up to and then be somebody who you're not, because then the person who's grieving can kind of sense that. They can sense that maybe you're putting on an act or being a little inauthentic, and then that just makes the person grieving feel a little uncomfortable, and then it just does not go well. So it's like if you're normally a person who makes people laugh, try to make them laugh.
Yeah. It's such a good tip, because you're right. Then you end up being somebody that you're not, and it's like, okay, this is authentic.
Throws it off.
Exactly. Well, you had some great guests, some repeats, some new. Breckin Myers on there, your boyfriend. So tell me about this. Like, who are you most excited to have on?
Well, the Breckin episode, that was my first episode back for season 2, and with Breckin, Breckin and his dog Harley. Breckin was such a gift to have on the podcast, because he really talked about what it's like dating a widow, like from the man's perspective. And we'd never done anything like that before. We've never really done any press or anything like that together. So it was really interesting to get him to open up and be very raw and real about it, which was just so helpful and so wonderful. So that episode was very special to me. But yeah, I have a lot of my just dear friends on that I just want to have really open conversations with, like my friend Tiffany Louise, who's a brilliant therapist and life coach. We talk about red flags in relationships. I just had, as I mentioned, Ariel Laurie on. Next week I have Lala Kent on.
So many good
So
ones.
that'll be really exciting.
A lot of really good conversations.
Yeah. So people I can just have great conversations with, where they're not interviews anymore. It's just like, let's just be real.
Let's just talk. Yeah. Let's just chat. Okay, and the theme is really food. You have Is It As Good As It Gets with Katie Couric. Really quickly, how did that start?
So Katie, another gift in my life, to call Katie Couric a friend is so special. But after Bob passed away, she knew Bob a little bit, and they had some really great mutual friends. She reached out to me just to be like, hey, I'm here if you need me, because she had gone through the same thing at the same age, losing her husband. And so we started hanging out, and then she loves these like viral cooking videos. She's like, let's cook. Make these videos where we're testing out viral recipes. And so they're, I know we have so much fun together.
It's so fun to watch, and congratulations on season 2. A lot of really good conversations, and you can catch the second season of Comfort Food with Kelly Rizzo out now wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you.